Jonathan Davenport's frightening performance, details on two drivers missing from Eldora on Wednesday, plus the dirt racing weekend ahead, and why High Limit is just absolutely screwed at Port Royal. Let's go. It's Thursday, September 5th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. The World 100 at Eldora is officially here with racing getting started tonight, and while you're in town for the races, make sure to stop by the Whistle Stop Bar and Grill to get some good food and good drink, and say hi to Andrew. It's located just 7 miles south of Eldora Speedway in Ansonia, Ohio. And besides the Whistle Stop, they also have a sister business located in downtown Greenville, Ohio called Sure Shot Tap House. Sure Shot Tap House is a 46-tap self-pour facility featuring domestic and craft beer, ciders, seltzers, bourbons, and wines. They also have a self-serve cocktail machine that complements their amazing food menu. If you head upstairs, you can check out the Bullseye Game Lounge, play some duck pin bowling, or one of the other 24 arcade games. Sure Shot, your ultimate destination to eat, drink, and play all under one roof. And this year, they're running buses from Eldora to Sure Shot on the Fridays of all major events, so obviously that includes tomorrow. The trip includes a buffet, a $15 pour card, swag bag, and much more. Visit SureShotTapHouse.com/events for more information on the trip. Last night at Eldora, not a good omen for the remainder of the weekend, the World 100, if you are anyone but Jonathan Davenport. With the Flow Racing Night in America series on Wednesday, Davenport was fourth in qualifying, won his heat, and then was just untouchable in the main event after starting second. He led all 50 laps with his margin of victory north of 7 seconds. If the track doesn't take rubber, it would have likely been much larger than that, as at various points he was leading Devin Moran by nearly 10 seconds. Laps around Eldora only take 18 seconds total. Already a dream winner this year as well, it might just end up being a complete sweep at Eldora in 2024. If this is how he's going to run this week, I don't know how you pick anyone else for the Globe Trophy, and he'll be the overwhelming favorite for the Dirt Track World Championship later this year. After the race, James Essex asked JD about his perfect run, and he said, quote, "I can definitely make it better for sure," when referring to his car. That's just scary. Moran and Ricky Thornton Jr. rounded out the day's podium with Hudson O'Neal and Bobby Pierce the rest of the top five. I told you guys yesterday it would be the usual suspects, and that's exactly what we got last night. Of the 106 cars on the World 100 entry list, 82 were signed in, and all of the names you would expect up front. Some names who didn't make the main event on Wednesday and who will have work to do to find some speed for today include Shannon Babb, Chris Ferguson, Kyle Bronson, Chris Madden, and Dale McDowell. We talked yesterday on the show about Brandon Overton's situation, and they didn't exactly light the world on fire yesterday. 26th of 41 in their qualifying group, and they were playing catch-up all night long. Overton charged from 9th to 5th in his heat, but then missed the transfer and then had to go 4th to the win in the first B to make the show. He finished 11th after starting 19th. Overton is a guy to keep an eye on in all of this silly season stuff as well. There's some interesting rumors and rumblings about his future. One driver not in the field last night that was a bit surprising was Mike Marlar. We touched on his struggles briefly yesterday. This race was listed on Marlar's website, but he did not sign in on Wednesday. He did attempt the Baltus Classic earlier this week, but had a flat while leading his heat and didn't run the rest of the night. Marlar is listed on the World 100 entry list, but his Skyline teammate Tyler Bruning is not. A few friends who were at Eldora yesterday told me they don't believe his team was on the grounds. This might be something or it might be nothing. I did see that the Race Ranch trailer does have his merch available in the midway. Maybe they just decided to take the night off. We'll just have to wait and see. Looking ahead to today, a bit of a different format this year for the World 100 prelim nights. They were going to qualify everyone and then run what they're calling shootout races with a 6-car invert. The top 8 in each shootout then race in each shootout make one of the 2 prelim features. So top 8 in the shootouts, they're going to go to the prelim features. The 2 fastest qualifiers that don't transfer in will tag the tail of those 2 features. So no heat races, no B mains. Accumulated points from Thursday and Friday will set Saturday heats like normal, like you would expect at the World 100. If you can't get to Eldora this week, watch all of the action live on Flow Racing. If you need a Flow subscription, click the link below in the video description or go to DIRTRACKR.com/FlowRacing. One driver you won't see at Eldora this week for sure is Outlaw full-timer Max McLaughlin. Max had a great stretch of races in June where he went 5 straight features, finishing 9th or better with the Outlaws, but since Deer Creek in July, it's been a struggle. Just a single top 10 finish in his past 15 Outlaw races. Max has been driving for J.R. Smith this season, and we knew that Chris Madden's deal to run the world this week was in a J.R. Smith-owned car. I just didn't realize it was in Max's car. Max shared to social media yesterday that he wants to be at Eldora, but this race wasn't on the original agreed-upon schedule when he took the deal, and the team went with Madden for the week to help the program get better. He did say that he'll be back in the car to finish the Outlaw season, which starts back up again next week. Taking a look at weekend sprint car action, we'll start first with the Tuscarora 50 that starts today at Port Royal. The Kubota High Limit sprint cars are down to their final 12 race nights, and 3 of those will get knocked off this week. At the moment, Brad Sweet well in control of the championship, and I don't think there's much drama here, barring some sort of meltdown of epic proportions. That second place spot is up for grabs, though, between Tyler Courtney and Rico Abreu, and there's some intrigue for that 5th and final charter spot between Brett Marks, James McFadden, and Corey Day. Things will be interesting this week at Port Royal, though, as the numbers and past results favor the locals and heavily. Between the Outlaws, All-Stars, and High Limit, I have the past 37 Touring Series sprint car races at Port Royal in the database at DIRTRACKR.com/analytics. Only 6 of those have been won by a series regular. Donnie Schatz won 3 with the Outlaws. That was from 2017 to 2019 straight through. Tyler Courtney was an All-Star winner in 2023. Corey Eliason, an All-Star winner in 2020. And Aaron Wright's an All-Star winner in 2019. That's it. That is not good news if you are a traveling high limit teams. Names like Lance DeWeese, Anthony Macri, Danny Dietrich, Logan Wagner, those guys have been up front at Port Royal a lot, with just those 4 drivers winning 18 of those 37 races. And Dietrich won the Weikert with High Limit earlier this season. Other travelers have done well also. That includes Brian Brown and Kyle Larson, and that's to say nothing of all of the podiums and top 5s and top 10s taken by non-series regulars. If you're a High Limit fan, though, there is good news. Zeb Wise, Sunshine, Spencer Baste, and Brett Marks, Corey Lyson, all High Limit full-timers, they do know how to find their way to Port Royal's victory lane. And Rico, Parker Price Miller, James McFadden, they've all had good runs at Port recently. Should be a fun weekend, and I think we could be into the 50s for car count. One note, though, on the championship, Sunshine trails Brad Sweet by 208. Rico is 235 back. Those are likely insurmountable totals, like I just said. But the only hope for Rico and Courtney is to take advantage of Sweet's current winless streak and lack of prowess around Port Royal and take a big chunk out right now. If those guys leave Port after this weekend without having done that, this thing is well and truly over. High Limit at Port will be live on Flow all 3 days. Right on the heels of the High Limit West Coast swing ending, the Outlaws have come to California for their turn. They begin a 3-week stretch out west this weekend with races at Stockton Friday and Hanford on Saturday. The Outlaws haven't been to Stockton since 2019. Logan Schuchart, the winner of the 2 previous races there. The last trip to Hanford was last year. Brad Sweet won that one, while Schuchart won in 2022. So of those drivers that will be in attendance, Schuchart actually the most recent winner at both tracks. David Gravel still leads the championship battle by triple digits over Donnie Schatz and Carson Macedo. Gravel, though, not quite as fast here as he had been. That combined, I think, with the recent hot streak for Carson Macedo makes me think there's a shot here for Macedo to make this championship into something. Donnie Schatz is coming off 2 top 5s at Huset's, but California, not usually a great part of the country for the 10-time champion. If I looked correctly, Schatz hasn't won or led laps in California since a Calistoga victory way back in 2017. If Macedo, though, can stay strong in his home state, we could have a fight on our hands headed back to Ohio at the end of this month. Both Outlaw nights will be live over on Dirt Vision. Elsewhere this weekend, there's $9,000 on the line for Wissota late models at River Cities. Got the Southern All-Stars, Ultimate Southeast late models in action. There's also late models at Port Royal during Tusky 50. Other weekend open wheel action includes the USEC Sprint Cars at Texarkana. We talked about that yesterday. AFCS is at Attica and Fremont, IRAs at Gondiklah and Cedar Lake, and a lot more. There's also the Super Dirt Car Series at Brockville, Can-Am, and Weedsport. And there's also the IMCA Super Nationals continuing at Boone Speedway through Saturday night. A schedule note for you today, the Xtreme Outlaw Midgets have canceled their September 15th race at Quincy Raceways. The track has run into challenges in obtaining a liquor license, and their kitchen has been shut down for renovation, so it's difficult to make money on a race night with no beer sales and no concession stand. The Xtreme Midgets do race September 13th at Southern Illinois and September 14th at Highland. Ken McIntosh, currently the Xtreme Championship leader. All right, friends, that's it for the Daily Show this week. Appreciate all the new subscribers from yesterday. We were well over 100 new subscribers yesterday. That's very cool. Also appreciate all of the recent merch sales and everyone who stops by daily to hang out for a little bit. Hope you guys have a great Thursday and a great weekend out there. We'll see you right back here on Sunday.